So this question is an example of a question that I've seen in several different variations. So the most efficient way to do this problem is to factor out a common term. Now it might not be apparent looking at this expression, but the key thing is if you factored out the 2 inside this first term, you would get 2 times x minus 2, and this whole thing is being squared. And you'll notice that the second term is exactly identical, meaning this is no different than if I gave you a squared minus a, where a happens to be equal to 2 times x minus 2, which we can easily factor this into a times a minus 1, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to factor 2 times x minus 2, and we will get a single one here, because remember this whole thing is being squared, and then just a 1 here. And all we have to do is to distribute that 2 and combine these terms, and that becomes 2x minus 5. So we have it in the factored form, matches with choice B, and that's the answer. So this is, of course, the most efficient way of doing it. Of course, it's the hardest as well. Most students don't like to factor it this way, but that's what this question is really testing. Now, there are other ways you can go about dealing with this part here. You could first factor out a 2 square, because when you factor a 2 square, it will become 2 square because we have a square here, and then it's x minus 2 square. And so I can see some students factoring it like this, or maybe even writing this as 4, and then pulling out the largest common term, which is 2 times x minus 2, and then you will see you'll get the same piece. So it's a matter of preference, or how comfortable you are directly kind of pulling out a common term. So those are the most efficient way. Now, of course, a lot of the students are going to do the expansion, and that's what this problem is set up for, is to waste your time. So let me do it that way as well. We'll square this, 4x squared plus 16 minus 16x, and then distribute this, and watch out for that minus. This will become a plus. Then combine all the like terms, plus 20. You can try to factor it this way, but if you ever see a number that's common to all of these, always factor that, which is 2 in this case. That's the largest common term. Now we'll factor this. Product of 2 and 10 is 20. I need two numbers that add up to minus 9 multiplied to 20, which would be minus 5 and minus 4. So you can see this is kind of the path they want students to take and waste their time. And so we'll factor out an x here and a 2 here, and then we'll pull out the 2x minus 5. And you'll see that that again becomes the same as choice B. So that's the method which I think a lot of students are going to do. Now, this is a no calculator. You can plug in values. One example that works here is 0, which I've seen to work in a lot of the other questions as well. So when you plug in 0 here, that original expression would be 0 minus 4 squared minus 2, 0 minus 2, so that's 16. And then this is going to be minus 2 times minus 2, so plus 4, so 20. Then you plug in x equal to 0 in all these choices and compute them. And so again, this would be 0, 0, so that's minus, so that would be 6 times 2, 12. Okay, so that one is out. This one again would be 10 times 2, 20, which of course it should match because that is the correct answer. So we're looking for the answer that's going to give us 20. This is going to give us 24. Please check this on your own as well, and that's going to give us 40. So we can also go this route, but be prepared that there may be cases where 2 of the choices might give you the same outcome for 0 or 1 or 2, because those are the most common numbers students are going to pick. So yeah, to recap, the answer is B, and the most efficient way is also the hardest approach for this question.